What is going on in your world? If you do not know, my name is Stacy, aka In Bed with Daddy, Danielle, whatever it is that you want to call me, but I go by Stacy. Anyways, what is going up in your guys' world? I know, let me tell you, the devil has been at work. Actually, you know what? I just feel like we be giving bro too much credit. Like, he be like, I ain't even responsible for that, but all right, I'll go ahead and take the point. Like, we need to stop giving the devil credit and just start to realize that most of our reality are consequences of our own actions. So it's like, how can you take accountability for not doing what you're supposed to or walking outside of your purpose rather than blaming the devil? Because bro just needs to get out of here. He is tired, old, and we are just done giving him his praise because he ain't got nothing to do with everything. Like, sometimes it genuinely be us. But anyways, the devil has been at work. Actually, no, I have been. Let me tell you, God told me something. I want to say maybe like 3 months ago, and I was like, how, Sway? Like, make it make sense, essentially. And so I feel like I kind of dragged my feet in it. And then I feel like I have been like inching to take like these baby steps in it. And today I just felt like I was finally faced with the reality of like, oh, okay, I get it now. And it has nothing to do with anything crazy. If you guys don't know, I have been working in the social services industry for, I want to say, maybe the last 5 years. A lot of the work that I have been doing is to work for the homeless population, getting them in supportive housing, but also trying to really help them build self-sufficiency. So not only getting them in house and stabilized, but it's like, okay, how can we focus on goals, like long-term goals, to avoid you getting into the situation again where your housing is being compromised. So I have been doing that for the last 5 years. I have worked from permanent supportive housing. If you guys don't know what that is, those are for people who have a little bit more barriers. So they tend to have physical disabilities, extreme mental disabilities that prevent them from maintaining full-time jobs. Then from there, I went into rapid rehousing, which is from people who typically have some sort of income but had been displaced because they lost their job or whatever the case might be. Those are typically people who have a little bit faster turnaround in terms of like being inside of a program that can help them iron out some of those goals. A lot of the last few years, my work has been focused on mothers with children. First, I was a supervisor for a shelter for parenting and pregnant teen moms, and right now I work at a Christian organization in a shelter for just adult women and children. I enjoy the work that I do. I have find so many purpose here, but there is just transitions that are happening in my life, and I'm just allowing God to like really dictate me. But anyways, bro told me 3 months ago what the deal was, and I've been dragging because I'm like, make it make sense. But if you have been walking with God, I know I have been. I grew up in a Christian church. I left the church for a really, really long time, and I rededicated my life back to God when I was 20 years old. And since then, nothing has made sense. Let me tell you, there's so many things that like God has told me to do, and I'm like, I don't know about this. But then, you know, after like coming out of those situations and actually seeing it for what it was, it showed me that like genuinely, like, his plans aren't to harm us. Like, he genuinely has purpose in the direction that he is trying to place us in. And so if we could actually cultivate trust and like faith in who God is, and stop trying to always take the steering wheel thinking that we know the direction more than he does, we can actually probably walk in alignment with who he is a lot faster. But I think the natural, innate, human nature of us wants to hold on due to fear and doubt. And let me tell you, if you follow me on my Instagram, you know we are all about just releasing fear, doubt. That is the staple for this year, is that we are fully letting go and letting God. And the only way that we can let go and let God is if you stop trying to drive all the time. Like, get in the back seat, kick your feet up, enjoy some iTunes, whatever things you listen to. I don't know, music platforms. I got Apple Music. I don't know what y'all got, but I use Apple Music and Pandora when I'm at the gym. So it is what it is. That's the platform I use. I'm about to sit back, listen to some music, and enjoy just the beauty and all that God has to offer me as I am walking in the season with him in the front seat. Anyways, I got completely sidetracked. This is not what I came on here to talk about, but here we are. We are still just honoring God because someone needs to hear that word. Anyways, so I wanted to talk about matching energy, guys. You guys have seen it all on social media. You know, one thing I actually like about social media is, like, if you lack discernment, you are going to be like ebbed and flowed in so many different directions. Like, they wonder why the anxiety and depression rates are so high, because there is just too much misinformation out there. And if you do not have security within yourself, you are going to be swayed by the world and the rules and the regulations and what they expect of you. But then that doesn't make sense. Like, Instagram is a walking, talking contradiction. So, like, if you lack discernment, just know that you are never going to actually understand the truth, and find truth for yourself. That's the best thing that I can tell you to do, is that you can't just take what you're hearing or what you think you know. Just making sure that you understand truth for yourself, because there are just so many directions that you can go in. So anyways, back to matching energy. I saw this quote, and I've seen this other quote that contradicts it too. So that's what I mean, discernment. I saw this quote, and it was like, let me know what type of time you on, so I know how to like adjust. And then there was another one that was so much more beautiful and so much more authentic to what I feel like my truth is. That was like, don't match anybody's energy. Maintain your own energy, because what people are showing you and what people are doing is who they are, but how you respond and how you react is who you are. And I'm just rolling with the latter, because let me tell you, I don't know about y'all, but like, I have tried to match energy before, and the way God just is like, I gave you your gifts for a reason, not so that way you can abuse them. Those spiritual spankings, like, I don't have time to play with that. Like, not to mention, like, I feel like the genuineness and pureness of my heart, I am going to suffer from anxiety and depression, because I feel like I'm now entering a space or a persona that isn't authentic to who I am. Let me tell you guys, if you guys are sitting out here matching people's energy, you have already lost the battle. And let me tell you why you have lost the battle, because now you are compromising the truth of who you are to benefit the situation. And if you are constantly going through that war of trying to match energies and trying to like pretend hard and trying to just live by the way of the world, you're constantly compromising who you are as a person. There is no identity tied to being authentic. So it's like, why not? Why not show up authentic as who you are? Why not allow people to be who they are? That way you can actually have the discernment of being like, okay, the way you're rolling, the way that you're moving, the way that you behave doesn't align with what my spirit is. It is perfectly okay to love people at a distance. Like, I love you. I can care about you. I can extend you my grace, but I also don't have to compromise who I am in the process. And so often we do compromise who we are as a person because we feel like, okay, well, if I match this energy or whatever, it makes me feel some sort of superior because I already positioned myself in a way that was lower than them to begin with. Like, we need to learn how to stop acting out of ego and pride and really step into acting into our spirit. Like, the spirit is gentle, the spirit is patient and disciplined. And if you are ebbed and flowed and matching energy, there is no discipline in that. So it's like, how can you take a step back and actually be in a place where you can maintain your integrity? Like, we cannot afford, especially in this day and age, like, we can't afford to compromise our integrity anymore. Like, people are watching. Like, there are so many people on social media and they don't care. Like, they don't care what you say. Like, they care what you do. And I think that's so important because there is a level of compromise that has to happen in order for you to maintain pureness in your character. Like, I know last year, like probably close to my birthday, where I felt like God was really like, Stacey, let's kick it up. Let's get the ball moving. Like, he had me do a wipe. Like, and not only a wipe externally but internally. And I feel that I have been like just shedding so many different layers in the process of like who I thought I was, what appealed to me, what was meaningful to me, what relationships I loved or I felt were useful in my life. And I have been in moments where I have been completely naked and bare dry. Like, and I think because I'm so intentional about like at this point in my life, I'm so intentional about allowing God to do the clearing for me. Because anytime I have been met with resistance, or I met him with resistance, there has been something that has been detrimental to my emotional, mental, or spiritual health. And the same thing when I match energy, like, let me tell you guys, like, I used to be the queen of petty, like, the pettiest, and I can get to that place. Like, it's still existing inside of me. Like, I am healing, I'm not healed, like as they say, but like it's true. Like, I am healing, like, and I know how to go there. Like, I know how to be petty, but it's like, for what? For the sake of me losing myself? Like, for me, it's more important to maintain my integrity and my peace than to sit there and match someone's energy, because it's coming at me in all types of directions. Like, we aren't doing that. Like, we aren't going to be petty anymore. We're trying to walk in purpose. And in order to walk in purpose, you also have to be in alignment with God and what he wants and the truth of who he is. Besides, the reality is that, like, rotten fruit falls on its own. Like, that is the reality, is that, like, people only can portray an image for so long before it starts to bubble up to the surface. And so it's like, if you notice that someone's true identity or their struggles are bubbling to the surface, you get to decide, like, is this something that I feel like is in alignment with me? And if it's not in alignment with who I am right now, how can I safely exit? How can I love this person from a distance so then that way I can maintain my integrity, maintain my peace, and not have to compromise who I am? You don't have to attend every fight that someone offers you. You get to decide what goes in and what goes out. And unfortunately, all you have control over is your output. You can't control other people. You can't control their behaviors, their actions. And once you get a hold of that, it's easier to take things as they are. Anyways, I hope you guys got that out of it. Just remember that the devil works through other people in order to attack you. And if you aren't prepared, and if you aren't strengthened, and if you are ebbing and flowing in who you are always going to lose the battle. Make sure that you are not only disciplined in the truth of who God is, but you're also disciplined in the truth of who you are. And that's what I have for you. I hope you guys